Okay guys, hey, I wanted to introduce you to the latest project to show up here at the Volkswagen garage. It is this 1965 Westfalia. This is a dove blue bus. Belongs to a friend of mine named Jamie. He's owned this for, oh man, 10 or 12 years, maybe longer than that even. He picked it up pretty much, externally, body paint wise, pretty much is the way he picked it up. He's done some work on the interior, replaced the tent on it, did some work with the top, lift mechanism, that kind of stuff, new seal on the top. But he brought the bus to me last week, and he's upgraded to a Sprinter, actually, a really nice Sprinter van. And family's kind of growing, and the bus just doesn't really get used as much as it used to. And so he was toying with the idea of selling it. So he brought it up, dropped it off to us, have us take a look at it, and see what we think. And I've been trying to talk him into keeping it, actually, rather than selling it. Needs a few things. Figured we'd do a quick walk around video here and just show you the bus, and then over the next couple months we'll probably be doing some minor repairs to it, interior stuff. Still trying to decide which direction to go with the exterior. As you can see there's quite a bit of respray down here on the long wall. If you notice right there, it's had an outer rocker put on it, and the weld wasn't even finished. It was just kind of, they took a flap wheel or something to it, cleaned the weld up, and then just sprayed right over top of it. Trying to basically preserve as much of the original dove blue as they could. If you look right here in the driver's dog leg, you can see there's some rust there. It's actually really dry underneath. It's pretty solid underneath. There's some rust up under here above this left front jack point that needs some attention. This bus came out of Salt Lake City, and it's actually pretty dry considering it came from Salt Lake. Front floor on this side has some pinholes. The dash is beautiful. Uncut dash, delete plate. I believe Jamie refinished or recovered the front seats a few years ago, and some aftermarket seat covers. It's obviously missing the pedestal covers. We're talking about possibly doing like a full front floor in it. Over here on the passenger side, you can see the floor has been replaced, and where it needs a repair on the driver's side, we're talking about just possibly doing a full front floor in it. Let's walk around the front here. The nose is pretty clean. It's got a few dents. Not sure what was painted down here, but it doesn't appear to really have any body work in there. Not sure why that was resprayed. Pretty straight nose. Jamie's pretty avid biker, so he had this hitch put on the front of it so he could carry his bikes, put his bike rack on the front of the bus. Over here on the passenger door, little damage there, and then some really odd rust, just a hole clear through on the skin there. And it looks like possibly this door might have been sprayed. It's hard to tell if that's original or not there. The door might have been worked a couple of times. Back into the inside. See the repair, an older repair on the passenger floor. Again, this is an older patch panel. Probably was put in 10 plus years ago. Some of the patch panels they have out nowadays are a lot better quality. This dog leg has some rust here, and then looks like they might have sectioned in this lower piece, kind of tried to hammer it out, and they obviously sectioned in the lower part of this dog leg. And if you look here on the B pillar, this lower piece here has been sectioned in. Possibly, I'm guessing this rocker was probably sectioned in. I haven't really crawled under it, looked at it real close. And then over here, this must have been possibly collision, but there's a section here that's seamed in as well. Now, the cargo doors actually line up really nice. They open and close like they should. Let's take a look inside. Missing door panel on the cargo doors. It's missing the cabinet right here, the ice chest. Again, missing the rear panel, the rear cargo door panel. Seats are the seats are a little torn up. Original upholstery. Z-beds there. Table. Headliner. I believe Jamie put a 10 in it a couple of years ago. Lights are there. Pretty neat bus. Cabinet above the rears there. This cabinet here is actually missing, but actually I kind of like that because it makes it a lot more drivable. You know, typically this closet would come all the way up, and this window actually just opens into the closet, and so you can't see out of this when you drive. So we've been talking about ways to tidy up this back area, possibly a short cabinet that would, you know, maybe come off of right here, or even lengthening the bed or widening the bed and the rear seat out to you know, full width. So we're talking about some different things we can do there. All of the camper windows are there. This bus is actually, according to the M plate, it was a US spec bus that was delivered in Germany. So it's probably like a tourist delivery, possibly a member of the military, something like that. And in Dove Blue, you don't see a lot of these later Westies in Dove Blue. So it's kind of a unique color for a Westie. The roof, cruise around here to the roof. This roof's white, but if you notice, it's actually not the original color. Somebody resprayed that roof at some point, so that roof should be Dove Blue. And then the top has been refinished with, you know, like a bed liner, bed coater, something like that. Those tops fade out pretty bad, and the fiberglass actually gets exposed, and so that's actually not a bad way to refinish those. Let's look inside the back here. I didn't mention it, but it is a walkthrough bus. So obviously the spare tire's back here. All the walkthroughs had this spare tire well here, whereas the non-walkthroughs had the spare tire behind the front bench seat. The walkthrough buses are awesome in my opinion. Basically the walkthrough means that up here, instead of a bench, it's got 2 bucket seats, and then you can walk through from the back of the bus. This is great in a camper. Our Deluxe is a walkthrough, and I love it. Walkthrough buses, in my opinion, are just much more comfortable and much more usable than a bench seat bus. Alright, engine in this was rebuilt several years ago by a company out of Pocatello, Idaho, Gate City Repair. It runs good. I'm going to do a few little things under here, rerun those fuel lines, change those out to some German braided lines, probably relocate that filter up in front of the firewall. But I believe they recently had the tank out and kind of cleaned up the tank, put a new sending unit in it. The gas gauge does work. The deck lid's a little beat up, and the rear apron looks like it's a little beat up, but it hasn't been cut for pea shooters, so that's kind of cool. Left rear corner, it's got a pretty good dent in it. It's gonna need a corner, you know, seamed in somewhere right below the tail light. Luckily, all that kind of metal's readily available anymore for the buses. Back paneling here on the rear hatch is it's kind of gotten wet and it's a little rotten, so it needs that panel fixed. But actually, the rear hatch is very rust-free. Looks like it could use a seal on the back window. So that's the 65 Wesley the Westie. This piece of glass here on this camper window is missing, but other than that, all the camper windows are there. Of course, they're a little delaminated, that's just kind of the way they are. So stay tuned for more on this one. I will set the camera down here in just a second, fire this Westie up. It hasn't really been driven much lately, but you know, Jamie dropped it off a couple days ago to me, and I've been kind of putting it around. And it's actually a great running bus, really solid, drives really nice. So I'll fire it up here for you, and you can take a listen to it.
Well, there you guys have it. That is the 1965 Volkswagen Westfalia camper that we'll have here at the shop for the next couple months. Like I mentioned before, not sure exactly what we're doing with it just yet, but we'll post some update videos as we go. Remember that if you or somebody you know has an old Volkswagen that they would like to sell, give us a call. My phone number is in the description below. And we buy and sell and consign vintage Volkswagens of all years. And so give us a call today if you've got one, or if you know of one, maybe a friend or family member has one that they would like to sell. It's been sitting for a while, and we'd love to talk to you about it. My name's Jeremy, and like I say, my phone number is below. And as always, guys, we appreciate you watching, supporting the Volkswear YouTube channel, and we'll catch you later.